Here on campus, about almost half of the campus, if you look at it, surface area is actually covered with impervious surface. And so we are a large contributor to stormwater that is collected off of those, goes into drains, and much of it actually goes directly discharged into the Ottawa River here on campus. We can do that as a legal permit. We can do that, but it's not the best management practice. Allow that water to go through. We're kind of cutting out nature's role when it comes to managing our stormwater. And rain gardens are one of several techniques that are being employed increasingly in many communities to try to deal with stormwater issues, the amount of water that we're struggling to deal with off the human surfaces it might be. And essentially what it is you have a natural drainage slope, a basin of some kind of form that will collect water. You have the soils and the plants that are put in, and this is maybe like Hans to tip in, or maybe Jay a little bit in terms of the makeup of the rain garden. But essentially they're designed to do two things. They capture and slow down that water, they absorb and store some of it. That allows it to slow down and begin to infiltrate into the soil. And in doing that, they also have the capacity to do some filtering of sediment and materials that might be carried by that water that's intercepted by the soils and plants. Most of the rain gardens, including this one here, are also designed, built around an existing storm drain. So if we get a really heavy rain event, the intent is not to create a pond. These are not a wetland or any kind of a pond of any type. They're designed to drain water within about 36 to 48 hours. One reason for doing that is that they don't become a breeding zone for mosquitoes. But in a heavy rain event, the water, when it gets high enough, will fill in the storm drain. But we've intercepted that first flush, as it might be, of water. I should point out, for this particular location, of the 3 rain gardens we have on campus, it has a little bit of unique design to it. We were able to work with facilities and grounds to actually intercept 2 of the exterior drains off the International House. And that water, as you can see, goes underground, and the drains now come out at 2 points, and we're capturing that portion of the water that comes into the rain garden, as well as what's coming in just off of the slope. This is the only rain garden campus we've designed for that particular function. As you can see, the rest of the drains go right underneath from the ground and actually go into an underground stormwater network that goes through campus and drains out. So we're removing some of that water and giving it time to naturally filter. As I mentioned, there are a number of initiatives across Toledo, and our projects are good demonstrations of the university's role as a community partner in stormwater and environmental improvements. The rain gardens have been a major initiative of the President's Commission on the River, projects that we've begun to develop over the last few years. And they've allowed us to highlight sort of our responsibility as a community partner. And they've received a lot of interest, not only here in the community, but also at the university. And I think in the coming years, we have identified some other sites potentially that we could in as well to kind of increase our ability to manage our stormwater in a more appropriate way. Hans, did you want to say, as an aquatic ecologist, a little bit
Patrick,
about it?
there's not a thing I can think that I can add to your story. Thank you.
Jay, did you want to add anything? I mean, from your perspective, as someone who installs and builds rain gardens?
I think out of 2 gardens, we should be license. Usually enforce students to see it. I think you covered it all. Good job. Capture rainwater, cover locations, surface gain.
And it's been planted now for a year, so it's still, as these native gardens, well, they take a little bit of loving care for a while. They will reseed themselves. It takes 2 or 3 years for them to really fill out. I think we've been quite pleased how this has come in. They don't really require any other maintenance besides normal maintenance that the garden can take. And if you're interested, the Toledo Rain Garden Initiative also supports similar type of rain gardens, even on private property, on your house property, and they've started to install some of those as well. I have a couple small ones on my property. I don't have the space to build one like this, but to kind of capture 2 of my storm drains off the river as well. And it's an opportunity to show what we can do when we all work together. That's all I have to say.
Thank you, Patrick.